This is Patrick from WSOU 89.5 FM, the loudest rock, and I am here with Ben Gordon from Parkway Drive. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. So let's get right into it. Your seventh studio album, Darker Still, was released back in September, and the first we heard of this album was Glitch back in June. And I remember the day this song was released because I was working outside. It was very hot in June in New Jersey, and I got a call from one of our promoters saying Parkway Drive just released a new song, and I listened to it on my lunch break, and I was totally blown away. Where did the writing of this song begin, the creation of it?
Well, funnily enough, for Glitch, that was one of the first songs we started writing. And the way we write is very, let's say, unorthodox. We basically just come up with an idea, and then usually, which was definitely the case for this song, it we work on it for a couple of years. Like the original version of the song is pretty much unrecognizable by the end. And which is strange because it's not a very technical song. You listen to it and just think, oh, it's it'd be easy to write, easy structure, but for us to come to that place is a complex um, path, let's say. But yeah, that one was one of the heaviest songs on the record, and we're very tactical when it comes to writing of a record, having a certain amount of heavy songs and slower songs, and actually making a bit of a flow. So when we came up with that one, we thought it could have been a good one to start the record, which we did, and ultimately it was yeah, like you said, it was our first single, and it's a song that we really enjoyed playing live too.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great song to start the record. And I think it really kind of signified your return as a band, not just to new music, but, it's a heavy song. It let everyone
Mm.
know, it's classic Parkway Drive. You're not going anywhere. What about this song do you think gives it that vibe? Because that's definitely the vibe I got when I first heard it. I thought, man, Parkway Drive is back and they're here to stay.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's heavy, but it's got some melody as well, and I think the classic Parkway thing that we've somehow somehow do well, and we have from the start of our band is just those big build up breakdowns at the end, and that's kind of a big part of this song is that whole "Let Me Out," the build up into that point, and it just all kind of culminates, and that actually is one of the main reasons why it's so good to play live that song because it builds up so well, and the crowd usually goes nuts in the mosh pit for that song. So yeah, it's got a bit of melody, it's got some energy, it's got some push, and it's got the big payoff at the end. So that's why the song seems to work.
Yeah, and it sounds fantastic. And you just mentioned that you thought it was fun to play live. And to me, Parkway Drive has always had some very, sing-alongable songs. You listen to Viva the Underdogs, and
Mm.
the crowd is almost as loud as the band. What was your first reaction to playing these songs from Darker Still for a live audience when you made your return to touring?
Yeah, we were very, let's just say, we were surprised in how good the reaction was because you never know. Usually it takes a while for the songs to warm up, for people to get to know them. But these songs, pretty much straight away, everyone was singing along and moving and cheering and washing and going nuts. So yeah, that's really what it's about for us. Like we are a live band, and we love writing records, but ultimately we do that so we can play them live. And these days the shows have become bigger and bigger, particularly in Europe and different festivals around the world. So we're very much aware when we write these songs, like how will this song translate live? Will this song, will the crowd be able to sing along? Will they be able to mosh? Will they be able to circle pit? And in a way, we tailor songs to the live environment a lot of the time. So yeah, the Darker Still was no different. There's slower songs that are more ballady, but there's a lot of energetic kind of sing along, catchy kind of riffs that we are known for, and it's what we do best, I think.
Yeah, and you first started touring for this album in Europe. There really is something special about European audiences, so much so you released the soundtrack to Viva the Underdogs live at Wacken, which is, one of the trademark heavy metal festivals in Europe. What's so special
Mm.
to you about performing these songs for a European audience?
Yeah, man, something about Europe, they just really, really love heavy metal. It's more embedded in their culture there, particularly places like Germany, UK. Germany's just, they basically just love it. It's more of a culturally accepted thing, like, and it's the festivals over there are so big that, 100,000 people was whacking where we recorded our live album. And we've been going there as long as we've been going to America, but the audience over there has just, I guess, taken off quicker than America. And our shows, we'll play to 8 to 10,000 people a night there at our own club shows. Where in America it'll be, it varies throughout the country, but say 2 to 4,000. So it's quite a bit bigger in Europe. And personally, it's just an exciting place to go. Like we've been going there for 17 years, but every city's got lots of culture and it's different languages, every country you go to. And yeah, it's just we really enjoy touring Europe and we love touring America as well, but they've got both got their own different pros and cons.
Yeah, and I've noticed over the past few weeks or month or so when you've been touring in the States, you in particular, you've been posting a lot of pictures of you out in nature, exploring not really the city, but more of the nature side of the US. What are some of your favorite activities to do when you're on tour, when you're not playing shows?
Yeah, man. Well, where we're from in Australia is a beautiful town called Byron Bay on the coast. That's where we grew up, and we basically grew up in nature on the beach, and it's what we're all used to. So, for me personally, when I go on tour, my goal every day is to see if I can find some nature, just some peace and quiet. And the way I, like to explain it is like the live environment. What we do is very, very stimulating. Like all the lights and loud music and crowd and like it's amazing. We all love it so much, but for me, I need to balance that out with some peace and quiet throughout the day. So yeah, I like to go for a walk. And I went today. We were in Cincinnati. Went for a walk and found a city park and just sat under a tree and meditated and just it kind of recharges me. So a few of the guys in the band are like that as well. Um, but yeah, I guess it's just in our blood the way we grew up. We're not really city people, so to speak.
Yeah, and something you mentioned meditation. I know something that's important to a lot of bands now is mental health. This album came after Parkway Drive took a little bit of a mental health break. How do you think this mental health break impacted the making of the album and also the tour that followed now?
Yeah, well, the lyrics that Winston wrote a lot on this record were about, mental health and different challenges in that department. But as far as our band goes, yeah, we basically hit a point recording this record and writing it where we got to a breaking point, so to speak, where we were all really burnt out. We were the dynamic within the band was not good. The relationships were not good, and towards the end of the record, it became apparent we really needed, um, professional help. We basically all said we were ready to walk away, and the tension was at an all-time high. So we ended up getting professional counseling together for the last 4 months after this record because it basically nearly broke us. So in that sense, it was a good thing because I feel like people need to get to their limit, their upper limit, before they, basically go inwards and say, I need a change, I need help, and that a lot of the time that means asking for help from a friend or professional counselor or therapist or whatever route you need to take. And yeah, we dove really deep in our relationships. It's basically like a 20-year marriage, man. Like the band we've been in, and we haven't really had the best communication skills. We never really learnt, how to talk to each other in a proper way. We buried a lot of stuff down. So yeah, it's been a really big journey going back and, working on our relationships and finding the love and respect for each other again. And now we're in the best place we've ever been, really, because we've learnt tools and we've kind of cleared the air of any resentments and we're feeling really good. So yeah, I think mental health in general, it's becoming more of a topic, particularly in men. Like in Australia, it's the highest suicide rate in men in the world because no one really speaks about it. The problems, like it's kind of seen as weak in Australia and a lot of places around the world for men to speak and be vulnerable. But I think that's starting to change now, and that's something that we're trying to encourage as well. Like, we're a heavy metal band. We're all, 30-year-old, 40-year-old guys, but we all have problems, we all have issues, and we all are human with human stuff we need to speak about, and it's not there's nothing shameful about asking for help, and it should be encouraged.
Yeah, I definitely hear all that, and I hear that in a lot of the lyrics on the album, and it makes it a very strong album. And in radio, we're all about the singles, but this is a full record. I'm curious, what was the most fun song for you to record on the drums in the studio? Which song gave you the most enjoyment playing?
My favorite song for the drums would be one called Soul Bleach. It's like a probably the heaviest, fastest song on the record. And the start of our career, like we were just kids, we used to basically just play as fast and technical as we could, and that was kind of the way we would, in a way, show off back then. But throughout our career, we've progressively, as far as the drums goes, progressively gotten kind of more simple to leave space. Learning how to write songs through our career, we've learned that it's not all about go, go, go the whole time. You got to leave space and create moments. So I've simplified a lot of things to leave space for guitar and vocals, and then I pick my moments. But Soul Bleach was the one song that I said, I'm just going to kind of go nuts on this song, and so that's always fun for me. It's just having the song to express myself and puts a bit more flair into it. And that song seems to be pretty well received by the fans.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to hear that on the road. You are on tour in North America right now. Currents and Memphis Mayfire opening. You're coming to Starland Ballroom this Saturday, February 11th. Sold out, by the way.
Mm,
And we were talking about playing in Europe before, Germany specifically. Viva the Underdogs was live at Wacken, and I've really gotten used to the sound of Parkway Drive in a big setting. But Starland Ballroom, it's
mm,
very, very intimate. It's not small, but it's a intimate venue. What
mm.
is special to you about playing a venue like Starland Ballroom that is not a big stadium or field, but a more intimate setting?
Yeah, every kind of venue has its own appeal. The big stadiums are so cool for us because, you see this sea of people and it's just this amazing spectacle, really. But something really, as you said, the word would be intimate about those smaller venues. You actually connect with people. You're close enough to actually be connecting, literally having eye contact. Like I love looking around at the front row and just seeing people, and you can hear people directly, and you're right there having a way more connected experience. So in a way, they're better shows. I mean, they're just different experiences. But yeah, that's the thinking for this tour. We just wanted to. First time we've been back to America in 4 years, and we thought let's just play some kind of smaller to medium rooms and just get reacquainted with everyone. And nearly every show this whole tour has been sold out except for a couple. So it's been really good, really fun, and we've been blown away with the response. And Starland Ballroom, we've played there before, and it's a really cool venue. We love New York and New Jersey and that whole area, so we're excited to play it.
Yeah, definitely can't wait. I'm going to be there, so looking forward to seeing you guys along with Memphis
Nice.
Mayfire and Currents. That's February 11th this Saturday at Starland Ballroom, Parkway Drive. Darker Still, go stream the album, download it, get the CD, vinyl, whatever you got to do. Ben, is there anything else you want to add?
Oh man, thank you for the chat. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is Patrick, WSOU 89.5. See everyone at Starland Ballroom.
Cheers.